Hello, welcome to Somerset News Network. I'm Ian, and I'm going to talk about Trump. But this setup here now is absolutely brilliant. It's working fine. I got to remember to log into the mic on the editing package. The camera goes on automatically, but occasionally it tends to switch to the mic on the webcam, which is not very good. And under this editing package, I can turn the sound down, but I can't turn it up. One of those things. And I'm trying to make do and mend with what I've got. So, I think we're on the right track now. The sound is better. And you can hear it doesn't sound like I'm shouting all the time. I don't know what was wrong with the other mics. It always sounded like I was aggressive. I'm a nice guy. Now, let's run the intros and then we'll talk about Trump. I had a question about my intro music, just as a aside before we go on to Trump. When I started, 2008, is when I started on YouTube. And I was called the Cider Channel. And I changed the name to Somerset News Network for, make it sound better. And I was campaigning at the time to stop the government putting extra tax on cider. Because we got loads of cider farms around here. They've been cider farms for generations. And it was going to put them out of business. So I fought that. And it was coming up to a general election. And I got the local paper, got in touch with me, and we had a chat. And I was taking it as a joke. MPs are a joke. And anyway, I ended up on BBC television, ITV television, and I went into BBC radio. Now, you're talking about BBC biased. Now, we went into the studio. Ever so nice, cup of coffee. Yes, Ian, sit down. And remember, we're coming up to an election now. And I'm fighting to stop the extra tax on cider. Because there's less tax on cider than there is on beer. So my argument is ideally to help the small cider growers, the cider makers in Somerset, it ought to be kept the same. But if it's going to have a tax put on it, it ought to be the same as beer. Fair enough. It shouldn't be more than beer. But they were worried that some of the new ciders that were coming out, they called it white cider, I think it is. But I said it's not cider. Cider is made from apples. White cider, I don't know what it's made of, but it ain't apples. And I think it's wrong that they call it cider. Because people were getting drunk on it and getting violent. So that was my side. And he said, are you going to stand at the election? I said, well, I don't know. People have asked me. But it looks like all these politicians have got their noses in the trough. So I said, I can bring my own trough if that helps. I just played it up. And I said lots of other things as well. They got the gift of the gab. Well, I can speak a bit myself, I was really hamming it up. Anyway, I actually got asked to leave the studio once I started joking about politicians and them all having their noses in the drum. They didn't like that. I was out the door. Well, anyway, let's get back to the story for today. Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump has gone into Venezuela and picked up the president who's a dictator. They reckon he's running with the cartels, or even maybe in control of the cartels. The cartels are running drugs into America. The fentanyl and the cocaine and the heroin, and they're killing people. Last year, they reckon it might have killed 300,000 people, these illegal drugs. So Trump wants to stop the drug trade. Fair enough. I'm all for that. Got no problems with that at all. So the cartels are working in Venezuela. It's become a terrorist state. They're running terrorists into America, and because they've closed the border and they're sending them back home, it's working. Now, by Trump going in and picking up the president, stops a ground war. Just think how many lives he's saved from doing it. In, out, brilliant. Brilliant operation. Now, what did Starmer say? Starmer said originally, it was against international law. Well, I am not an expert on international law. I haven't got a clue. But Starmer's backing the criminals. Let that sink in. Starmer is backing the criminals, the cartels, the drug dealers. That's why he doesn't stop the boats. Is there something going on there? I don't know. I'm only posing the question. He says, I'm going to break the trafficking gangs, and does nothing. Trump does something. Trump says it, and he does it. People don't like it. So what they're doing is they got submarines. To start with, they were mini subs made of steel. And of course, because they're steel, they can be picked up easily. So they then started making custom-made glass fiber submarines that can't be detected by sonar and things. They found them harder to detect. But the Americans found a way to do it. The speedboats come from Venezuela and go north into South America, into the lower 48, with drugs. And when they film them from above, you see they got all the drugs stacked on the deck. Hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of drugs. And they think because of speedboats, they're going to be safe. And they blow them out of the water. I got no problems with that at all. They give them a warning shot across the bow, and if they don't stop, they blow it up. It's fair enough. It's a war against drugs that Trump is fighting. What are we doing? We're just letting all these people in. Oh, they found somebody selling the dinghies. A Turkish guy. And he's waiting to have a court case. And they've got a film of all these dinghies in cardboard boxes. He won't be the only one. Somebody will take his place. these people who are trafficking all these migrants are like the cartels in Venezuela that are running the drugs. They might not have bombs and bullets, but they're dealing in people. And the people get to northern France, to Calais, and they reckon it costs £2,000 to £5,000 or euros to get across the channel, to get a place on one of these boats. Where are they getting that money from? Now, they've either got the money and can pay them, or they're being loaned the money from loan sharks that are working with the trafficking criminals. Then they'll have to pay the money back. So when they get here and we give them money, they're giving the money back to the criminals, which keeps the crime going. My solution? Not to give any illegal criminal money. We can house them, we can feed them, ready to send them back home. But we cannot give them money, because that money is going back to the trafficking gangs if they need to pay for their passage to get here. It's a criminal enterprise. And the legal crooks are the company that is organising the housing for the migrants. Trump knows this. Trump is having a go at Starmer about free speech. Starmer says, oh, we got free speech. And then he puts people in jail for Facebook posts and Twitter posts and YouTube videos. We haven't got free speech. We're under the tyranny of the Labour government, and Trump knows it. Trump is having a go at Starmer. He's cancelled the deal, the trade deal. Trump has cancelled it. The one that Trump, Starmer and, who was the, I can't remember, Reeves, wasn't it? And Lammy, they went over to America, licked Trump's boots, came back, we got the deal. Yeah, that didn't last very long, did it? Trump is sanctioning this country because of Starmer. Starmer is treating this country like he's the dictator. He thinks he's got the right of a crown, the divine right of a king. We stripped that from the king in the Bill of Rights, and it was given to Parliament. It wasn't given to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister has the power to defend the country in time of war. But he can't use it as tyranny against the people. We have a constitution for that, and Trump knows it, and Trump is trying to put sanctions on this country to force Starmer to do the right thing. Anyway, that's what I think. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye-bye.